Crafty Mavens, this is Megan and I am back today with a Scraplift Saturday. So you will have seen the layout that I decided to scraplift right before I started the video. And this one I was just browsing through Pinterest trying to find a fun layout to scraplift, and this is the one I decided on. So I was going through my photos and I had these two cute photos of my oldest son Jonas and our dog Max. And Jonas was doing homework and Max had gone in, you know, just to kind of chill with Jonas a little bit. And I just thought these photos were so cute. So it's not like a huge story, but I wanted to make sure that I did a fun little layout for these images. So here you can see I just cut down the photos and now I'm going to mat them on this wood grain paper. The kit I decided to use was from an old Citrus Twist kit. I think this was last summer. I got their kits for about 3 or 4 months in the summer last year. And I just kind of stuck all of them together. So I think I'm mainly going to be working with Paige. I think it's her first collection. And just a few other random scraps. Okay, so now you can see I have my photos matted, and now I'm just going to pick out the paper that I want to use as a background, and then here I am going to mat the photos on this green paper, and that's also from the Paige Evans collection. I just still am so absolutely in love with her very first collection. If you don't know, it's called Fancy Free, and it's just filled with so many fun colors and patterns and everything, and I just love it. Okay, so now here I'm just trying to decide what papers I want to use behind the photos, because the scrap lift calls for a bunch of vertical and then a bunch of horizontal papers. So I'm trying to use up some scraps here, and I decide I'm going to use this kind of pinkish. It has a bunch of different pink hues. And then I'm also going to use this yellow, which I don't even know what paper that came from, but it has been one of my favorites lately. So here I'm just kind of sticking papers behind the photos and kind of playing around with the setup of them. I am going to, let's see, what am I going to do here? I did this layout a week or so ago, and so it's hard remembering what I do. Am I the only one that has such a bad memory when it comes to scrapbooking? So here I pulled out my Close to My Heart Lagoon ink pad. It had something like a funky, I don't know if glue got on it or something, but it was all funky. So I was wiping it off there. And then now here I'm going to ink the edges of all of these. And I'm going to do all of the papers and even the doily. So you can see I pulled in that doily up at the top. And that is actually from Spiegel Mom Scraps. She has a bunch of fun doilies in a bunch of different colors. Well, not like, she's got silver and gold and then white. So I guess that's not a bunch of different colors, but I love using these doilies. So here I cut off a top piece on that scrap just to kind of make it a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to start gluing everything down after getting all of the inking done. And also in the scrap lift, one of the papers that's going from top to bottom has a punch on it, like it was punched out. And so I pulled out this Fiskars trimmer punch, and it's just a scallop. I don't really have too many punches like that. And I'm lazy, and even though I have a silhouette and I love it, I don't really use it to do borders or anything like that. So here I'm just gluing all of these pieces down, trying to get everything set up. And I forgot that I needed to glue these papers underneath those vertical ones. So I'm gonna have to add or pull up the papers a little bit. There, you can see me doing that. And now I'm gluing down that doily and the rest of these papers, and I'm liking how it's turning out. It's not the best layering I've ever done. I don't know about you, but layering is one of the hardest things for me to do. But I'm liking how it looks. And so here you can see I'm kind of ruffling up the edges on all of the papers just so that that yellow paper doesn't look so out of balance, I guess. I don't know. Because I did have to pull it up and I kind of ripped a little piece of it. Okay, so now I'm going to pull out some of these chip pieces. What are they? Chipboard. Sorry, I can't think. And I really liked these vines that were kind of in the like a corner shape, and I thought it would be kind of fun to pop my photos up on top of them. And sorry, I guess I had to step away and came back the next day. So I'm wearing something different. I think I am. I don't know, maybe I'm not. So now here I'm just putting in some wood veneer and that cute little flare badge that is from KJ Kareen's Etsy shop. And the wood veneer that I'm using is in the shape of leaves. And the reason I chose that was because in the inspiration piece for this week, there's that image that has the leaves in it, or I don't even remember what it is, and of course I can't think right now. So here I'm just gluing down the chipboard pieces with my Zots, and then I'm going to also glue the photos down on top of this. And in order to do that without them having no dimension behind them, I'm going to use some three-dimensional adhesive. It's just like the foam, the roll of foam is what it is. I think I get mine at Michael's. I don't use it a whole lot, so I've actually only bought it once, if you can believe that. Crazy, right? Okay, so now here I'm just making sure that it's all gonna fit and punching out just a couple areas where the teeny tiny little pieces were still stuck in there. Okay, now I'm all done putting the glue on there. And I'm going to add the dimensional tape to the back of the photos. Okay, so now I have my photos glued down, and I had this, I think this is from Pink Fresh Studios, one of those rubber charms, and it says family time on it. And then also one of my favorite things about Citrus Twist is they include a bunch of printables, and they actually print them off so that you don't have to worry about printing them. They send them to you printed on a sheet, and then you just cut them out. So there was one that said enjoying, and so I just glued that right above the words family time on that yellow rubber badge, or rubber charm. So here now I'm using my Zots to glue down these leaves. And then after that, let's see, what am I going to do? I did pull it out a bunch of ephemera, and this is from a couple different collections that Our Happy, I think it's at Our Happy Place. I decided to glue that on top of the doily. Sorry, I can't talk. And I decided to cover up the word place. So it just says Our Happy, and then I glued down that flare badge right next to it. Now here I'm going to pull out these Avalicious, it's like a wood grain, a gray wood grain alpha set. And I'm going to spell out the words Homework Snuggles. And I just thought that was really cute. There was this clear, what is it? It's an acetate tag, and that is from the Fancy Free ephemera pack. And I was thinking I would use that as kind of like my title base, but I kind of decided, like, I changed my mind because I don't really like splitting up the words, because I was just going to make it home on one line, work on the second, and then I was going to do snug on the third line, and then goals, so GLES on the fourth line. I was just like, that looks weird. So I'm going to decide to just do it on 2 lines, and I'm going to take off that acetate tag. It's not going to work out. So here you can see I am trying to make it work like this, but then I decide, nope, I don't like it. So here I'm just going to use my wax paper to make sure it works. Sometimes my wax paper is too much of a crutch. I don't know if you've found that. Sometimes I don't just live in the moment and put it down. Okay, so I put down the word snuggles, and now I'm going to put down homework. And I still am actually going to incorporate that tag, that acetate tag, into the layout. I'm just going to put it on top of that blue piece of paper to the left of the photos. So here you can see this alpha was not being my friend, and it didn't want to stick down very well. Also, I had to kind of jimmy rig a P into an R because I had run out of R's. So I decided to glue down that R, or that P, into an R. And I think I'm not really fond of this alpha. I had to use, I'm looking at it right, oh no, I'm looking at it right now and it's falling apart as I'm touching it. But so I need to go back through and glue the alpha down, because I tried using Zots on a couple, like I think 1 or 2 of the alphas, and it didn't work very well because the alpha is so small or so skinny. So I think I just need to go through and use glue, liquid glue. And so I got those all glued down, and now here is where I'm going to bring in this acetate tag once again. And I'm thinking I want to incorporate this cute little key, but I couldn't figure out how to do it without making it look random and just totally out of place. I had this acetate word that says family, and then also this cute little camera. That camera came in a Project Life ephemera pack. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's like Everyday or something like that. Something with everyday in it. I'm going to use this cute little tag that says magical on it. Gonna glue that on that left-hand photo, and then also in each one of the Citrus Twist kits comes a stamp set. You don't have to pay extra for it, which I thought was awesome. So I'm going to use this cute little stamp that has a bunch of hearts on it, and I'm just gonna stamp that in a few different places on the layout. And then I'm also going to use another stamp that says I like us. And that stamp I didn't want to be so overpowering, so I'm going to use a Close to My Heart ink in Slate. So here I'm just cleaning off my stamp. I don't know if you are so crazy about cleaning off your stamps, but I am. I hate not cleaning them off. Like immediately, I have to do it immediately. Okay, so here now you can see I'm doing that second stamp, and I'm liking how it's turning out. It's not too crazy obvious, but you can still see it. Okay, so now here I'm just gluing down that camera, and I think I'm pretty much almost done with this layout. I don't do very much more. I do need to write up the journaling. I haven't decided exactly where I'm going to do the journaling, so you probably won't see it in the photos. I'm gluing down that cute little flower. I kind of wish I had a couple more of those flowers, but I don't. I must have used them all, because that was, I think those were also from the Project Life kit, but I could be wrong for that. I'm going to glue down this word dreaming, and then I think that's everything that I do. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this layout. Come on over to the blog and the Facebook group so that you can see everything else that we are making. I hope that you were inspired today. Have a great day. Bye.